This is Christian Buckley. I'm the founder and CEO of CollabTalk, and I'm a Microsoft MVP in the Office servers and services space. I've been in collaboration technology in that world really since the late 90s, worked with a number of companies in and outside of the Microsoft ecosystem. But CollabTalk is an independent research and technical marketing services company. One of our primary projects or efforts, things that we work on, are these research projects. We are not a lead gen company, so I don't have a mailing list. I don't do email marketing. Those kinds of things for clients. But what I do understand is inbound marketing, sales and marketing strategy, and content creation, editorial strategies. I understand how hard it is to go out and create content that has impact and to keep up that cadence of content as part of that strategy. Because content drives modern digital marketing. You need to have good content. It needs to be authentic. It needs to be specific, tied to your products and your services. And so we work with clients to develop that content. Now we do that by go out and we work with clients sometimes that bring topics to us, other times that we go out to the community and say, hey, well, there are these topics that we think that there's enough interest around, and we then pool resources and pull together groups of sponsors around different topics. So the first thing we did when I spun off and started this company back in January of last year, of 2017, was around really understanding the size and the scope of hybrid SharePoint. There wasn't data specifically around hybrid SharePoint. Microsoft, they had data about hybrid environments that really cut across different technologies. SharePoint was a piece of that. And so this was the first time where we really looked at and classified that data. We brought together about a dozen different co-sponsors with Microsoft as a lead sponsor of that project. Now, since then, we've got a couple of the projects that are wrapping up. In fact, this month. So next week, I'm going to be doing a webinar that's hosted by Rencor with AvePoint Alliance and was also sponsored by Microsoft around cybersecurity around Office 365. So if you've not seen that yet, if you want to go take a look at, see the results of the research and hear from the some experts on that, we have an all MVP panel on the 11th. You could go to rencor.com. You can find out about that webinar, and that report will be coming out next week. There was another report that was done, a study that was done. It was sponsored by Microsoft Public Sector and AvePoint Public Sector around Microsoft Cloud, so Office 365 in Azure, Microsoft Cloud adoption within the U.S. public sector. That's coming out later in April as well. There's a huge project that the primary sponsor, it was commissioned by the Worldwide Partner Group at Microsoft, is around diversity hiring strategies within the Microsoft channel. That's going to be coming out in time for Microsoft Inspire, which is happening in July, coming from Microsoft and two other key partners that are funding that huge research project. So there's some really interesting things that are coming out. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, hey, how do I get involved? How do I participate in these? These are not break the bank because of the way that we pool the resources and go and put this together. And CollabTalk partners with the Marriott School of Management at Brigham Young University, so BYU. We use grad students and have faculty members as advisors, as well as experts and MVPs, influencers from around the community that participate in the creation of these research projects. But we have two that are kicking off this month, and we are looking for co-sponsors of. And so both of them, they originated from the SharePoint team from Microsoft. But one of them is looking at, I've got the official title here, so improving governance in Office 365, which is Office 365 scope, looking at the governance patterns in on-prem environments and how they evolve and change as collaboration moves to the cloud. And so we're studying those patterns, looking at governance, looking at how they change and how and where organizations are failing to adapt to those changes and the governance costs, the impacts. So the financial impacts, the strategic impacts of not adapting to those changes. So that's going to be really interesting. There's a second study that's happening that's also being launched at the same time. It's called Organizational Security and Compliance Practices. So it's not an on-prem to the cloud like the first project, but it's a sister project to this. Is looking at what are the patterns and practices of security and compliance today in around Office 365. What are organizations doing? And then what should they be doing? What are the best practices? What are the gaps? And what is this costing organizations? And so governance or compliance and security, if you're interested in either of those areas within the Office 365 scope and are interested in finding out more, we have platinum sponsorships to both of those. So being the lead sponsor of either one of those, we've got gold sponsors already with Microsoft is for both of those projects. And then we have silver sponsorships as well. And to tell you the difference of what you get, there's a prospectus for each of those. But of course, platinum sponsors and gold sponsors, this is a key difference with CollabTalk projects. Platinum and gold sponsors get all of the data. You get the data model, you get all of the analysis, you get all of the research, the supporting materials, anything that the research team can hand over. Like certainly there's things that the team is licensed to go in for the full reports that we can't just hand over. However, the summary of those reports and all the data, anything that comes out of that research, the sponsors get that. Silver sponsors, it's a low cost, low point of entry. The benefit that you get is having your logo attached to these research projects and participate in the creation of that report and that data. So all of the sponsors have an opportunity where you might be quoted within and have input in and participate with the research team during the primary and secondary and community-based research activities. But at the end of the day, it's the platinum and gold sponsors that get a branded version of the final research report, which they can then go out and use for their inbound or content marketing and go do lead gen from that. So at the end of the project, CollabTalk does not then go out and push out this content and then divvy up leads. It's handed over to the sponsors, and the platinum and gold sponsors with all that supporting data then can actually go and create other derivative works, other white papers, other ebooks, infographics, blog posts, and other articles off of that data because they'll own all of that research. And so they can go off in their direction that's relevant to their product or service. And CollabTalk can help with that as well, but that's where the project ends for our piece, handing those deliverables over to the sponsors. So if this is of interest, you can reach me at cbuck@collabtalk.com. You can go to collabtalk.com to the website and fill out the form. I'd be happy to send you a prospectus on one or both of these projects and tell you more about this and how to get involved. Again, they're kicking off this month. They'll be completed at the end of July, early August, so plenty of time because we are in the Microsoft ecosystem to get those deliverables and to start your promotions leading into Ignite, for example, happening in September. Plenty of time in August and September to be promoting that content running into that major conference. So if you're looking for help in creating original content for your inbound marketing and sales strategies, then look no further than CollabTalk, and let me know if I can help you out. Thanks a lot.